Welcome to the Wealth Matters podcast, where investors come together to better understand how to build passive cash flow and create generational wealth without all the confusing mumbo-jumbo. Here's your host and co-author of Amazon #1 bestseller, Alpesh Pamar.
Welcome to Wealth Matters podcast. This is again Monday's experiment edition. And today I'm planning to do something which I have not done before. I always talk about the experiments I make while investing on different websites with different syndicators, etc., and give what I think what happened. But today is the first time because I know a lot of subscribers reached out to me via email, YouTube, etc., and ask me to review some of the websites which are available as well. And of course, there are tons of websites or platforms available for private investments, and I don't use all of them, right? I can't, even if I want to. It's a lot of work, and I have to jump through hoops, right? So when I was starting out, I had chosen some platforms. Of course, not all the platforms worked for me, but that's how I understood how different platforms work. So today is the first time I'll be reviewing some of the platforms I have not personally used, and I want to make sure I clarify that because I don't like to do that. I want to always try it out, but of course, as of now, I'm not planning to try out these platforms because I'm too busy with my real estate investments as well as cryptocurrency investments as well. So please take this review or the podcast as grain of salt. That's what I would say. Do your own research, DYOR, perform your own due diligence. But here we go. So we will talk about today three different platforms or websites which are available to private investors. So let's get started. The first one I want to talk about is called Yieldstreet.com, YIELD street.com. So Yieldstreet is similar to a crowdfunding platform. Another crowdfunding platform I have spoken about, crowdfunder to seed invest to micro ventures. And actually, I'm planning to talk about many others which I have started using recently as well. So that would be coming, but this is for some, subscribers who wanted me to take a look at some of these other platforms as well. So Yieldstreet is an online platform that offers investors access to alternative investments in commercial real estate, so which what I already do, but also marine projects and art, etc. Investment minimums typically start at $10,000. So let me share my screen and we will go through the Yieldstreet together. Okay, so let's try. So as you can see here, of course, they also have fund because, as I said, it's a syndication as well. So you can go with one of the fund called Yieldstreet Prism Fund, for which actually accreditation is not required. So that means you don't have to be an accredited investor. And so for that, it's $1,000 minimum. But if you see most of the other, there is an accreditation required. Most of the other investments um, on their portfolio or fund. And as I can tell, because all of these are real estate fund, and this is why I did not sign up for real estate because I'm already doing all of this. So when I'm looking for other platforms, I'm looking for platforms where I can invest in different startups I like, some new business, maybe cryptocurrency, because I'm already, even this one as well, the short-term notes, it seems like it's also more for accredited investors as well as it's investing in real estate, right? So some of the pros I could see is that definitely it gives access to a lot of different asset types, but I can tell a lot more is commercial real estate. Um, it's very easy for individuals to invest in private structured credit deals, right? And of course, when it's real estate, it's backed by some kind of an asset. Cons, as always with syndication, highly liquid, right? Most of our investments are open to accredited investors. And third con, I think, and I could tell even just looking at it, the offerings are very limited. So they don't have a lot going on all the time. Thinking, if there is a platform, then I would think that they'll have a lot more offerings as well. The last thing I personally don't like, and that I will talk about all other platforms as well, that if I'm investing in real estate, I want to invest with someone who I already know, or at least I can reach out to. In this case, I don't even know who Yieldstreet is working with. I don't have any clue, and I cannot even reach out to the operating partner. Remember, Yieldstreet is providing the fund, but in the back end, it's working with operating partners or the actual operators of that particular real estate. So that's what I think about the Yieldstreet. Again, as I said, do your due diligence. Next one I want to talk about, it's another famous one, Fundrise. So let's talk about, look at Fundrise. Again, Fundrise also pretty much similar to Yieldstreet, and actually Yieldstreet had little bit more marine and art projects, etc. But Fundrise, I can tell it's pretty much real estate, commercial real estate. So it's same thing. I know one of the friend had invested $500 in a Fundrise, and it had worked out. But it's pretty much a real estate investment company or a commercial real estate fund. Basically, you are investing in a syndication for a couple of things. One, the fund will have a cash flow. They could call it as a dividend. And second, the appreciation when the property is sold, you will you will pretty much make a gain. Fundrise minimum investor investment is usually 500 or $1,000. Accreditation required, not for most of the investments. So that's one of the things. Lockup periods, or how long you have to invest, is about 5 years. And then they invest in both, I can tell, commercial and residential properties. They do renovation, development, financing, etc. And they are pretty much investing in East Coast to West Coast. And the way they are structuring is like a private REIT. So like public REIT would be REIT. You can buy those stocks through your exchanges. And then the private REIT is similar. They will be paying you a dividend, and they will provide a Form 1099 DIV for your dividend. So, and then they reinvest your dividend as well. Also remember, because it's a fund, it's not 1031 exchange eligible. So whatever investment you make, when they close the fund, you will have to pay tax on it. You won't be able to defer. Of course, there are a lot of other ways to defer on those taxes. But this is what I think about Fundrise, and we'll talk about the third one now. So third one is Roofstock.com. Roofstock.com is again exactly what it seems like. It's providing single family residence, right? So it basically acts as like a broker between buyer and seller. So, and pretty much as an investor, I was looking at it as well. I can list my property to sell on Roofstock, and someone can buy the property from me, right? So the good thing is you don't have to be an accredited investor, because you are buying the property yourself. It would be under your name. You may be able to get financing depending on the property, etc. Um, so how does Roofstock pricing work? They sellers pay a commission of 2.5% of fee, or around 500, whichever is more, and buyers are charged half of 1 point. A point is a percentage of the price. Half point of $100,000 property is 500, right? So either half of 1 point or $500, whichever is greater. So that tells me that most of the properties they are selling are sub 100K property. Otherwise, that's why they had kept the limit. If it doesn't work, then 500 is what we at least need to make. Right. Some of the features are free to join, right? Certified properties, they certify the properties. They are supposed to go through it and perform the due diligence. I can tell the platform itself is pretty cool, very easy to use for anyone. As you can see, it has the properties from 135,000 to 90,000, 55,000, etc. As well, right? So That is why I said that if 45,000, they want to make at least $500 from both the sides. So that is the reason they would have the 500 is the minimum fee. Or even though they are saying whichever is greater means $500 is the minimum you have to pay, no matter what. They are also giving, I can tell from the website, that 30-day money back guarantee. I don't know how it works, but seems like if you want to sell it back, you'll be able to sell it back within 30 days. And also, if it's not leased property or vacant property, they may give you a guaranteed lease up, means they will make payments to you for the rental income which you would have made, right? So far, I like what I see. Definitely on the website. Again, I'm not recommending it to you, to use it, but also it has pretty good rental calculator and financing calculator. So this is what is cool about it. So you should be able to look at, and this is similar to bigger pockets, and see if that investment will make sense or not. Some of the things which I think are pretty interesting, and personally, why I don't like, because I think these sites are for newbies, where you don't want to deal with buyer or anyone. You are just going through a transaction online, and you don't know who your agent is, even though it's Roofstock, which is acting as a broker, but you are not directly working with them or the seller, right? Or when you are buying as well or selling, same thing, right? Because you don't have any idea. So personally, I may use it to sell, but I would not use it for buying, because I want to figure out the market, do thorough due diligence, and then build my relationship in that market. Instead of buying it online, you will be missing out on the relationship you need to build in that particular market, right? So if you are going through an agent will help you, even if you are buying online as well, or wholesaler. But at least you'll have connection. You'll make connection with a property inspector, of course, a property manager if you invest like me in a remote market. And some of the other things I have heard about Roofstock is the kind of, even though this is certified and vetted properties, the kind of due diligence they do, it's not enough, and you could be in trouble. So again, check out all three websites. I'm not recommending any of them because I don't use any of them personally, but it's always worth to know what's going on in the market. So thank you for watching, as well as thank you for listening. If you are listening to me on podcast platform, please subscribe and share the podcast or the YouTube channel with your friends and family. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Matters podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes so others can enjoy the show too. Have a great week and happy investing!